Hey, thanks for slithering in. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our very first Paralives speed build video. I'm so excited to finally be sharing this. As you guys probably know, Paralives came out a little over a month ago, and I know I'm just now getting around to sharing my first build, but that is basically when I actually built this build. For my first build, I really wanted to keep it rather simple, so we're going with a very boxy shape. We're pretty much just calling this a brick house at this point. We're on this fairly small but definitely very interesting shaped lot where it's kind of like a triangle, so I wanted to keep it small, but I'm also still kind of trying to figure out how the spacing and stuff works in this game, so we're definitely going to have to play around with more of that in the future. However, before I really get into my first initial reactions and thoughts for this new game, I want to know yours. Let me know how you're enjoying this game, if you have gotten it and played around with it. Are you preferring the build mode? Are you preferring the create a parafolk mode? Oh god, I gotta get used to saying these new words. Or are you enjoying the gameplay? I really want to know all your thoughts. I've seen videos of pretty much every little aspect, but I've mostly been in build mode. I did try to make my para self, I guess is what I'm gonna call it. I don't know, is that what the community's calling it? I'm not sure. But I did try, and then I was like, I don't like it. I don't know. I have to like get back to it and really try to make my para self feel better. At least in my eyes. So we'll see. I don't know. I feel like sometimes I'm just very plain Jane, to be honest. So maybe that's a me problem. But every time I like randomize a parafolk, I'm always like, yes, I love this folk. Like, yes, you'll see a randomized parafolk later. You can kind of see her off on the screen there. She's kind of standing in the street, kind of acting weird. So anyway, right now I'm really struggling with like how foundations work here, and I'm trying to like redraw lines and all this stuff, but I think my floors broke, and this has happened a few times while building for me where I place a wall and everything just breaks, like my floor disappears and everything. What I've learned helps is just loading out of the save and then loading back in. That has helped for me, but that's like the biggest issue that I've run into. I haven't really run into too many other issues at this point, which is really good. The first thing I'm really excited about for this game is that the developers are pretty adamant that you have to just pay once for the base game, and then any future DLCs and things will be completely free. I do think there's a bit of a caveat to that though, because I've heard or read online that as the game goes on and more DLCs and more items and things are added to it, I think that base level price is going to kind of climb upwards a little bit. So if you're interested in this game, I would personally suggest getting it. For what it is now, we have a lot of cool features in just a plain old early access base game version. So with that said, I think it's a pretty good bang for your buck. We have a lot of things that I know a lot of us are comparing this to The Sims 4 a lot. It's a big new competitor in the villa, I guess. What, a new bombshell just dropped or whatever. So we are comparing that a lot. You just saw that I pulled out a color wheel because we have color wheel in this, and I missed that train in the Sims 3 era for the most part. So I still have to kind of get used to it. I might say it a little later, maybe, we'll see, but the color wheel kind of scares me and like intimidates me a little bit, but I'm also like really excited. So I find that if I have too much freedom, sometimes I feel like I get a little overwhelmed creatively, which is kind of silly to say because I also really like having all the options available to me. I think it's just a tool I need to get used to and kind of figure out how it's going to work for my particular building styles at this point. So I've used it on the windows here to get some of like the colors right. Here I'm saving again just in case my floors break because I was deleting walls and stuff. And then another feature we actually have in this early access base game version is the stairs. So while you can't like fully customize your stairs, like get L shapes and things without kind of building platforms and having like little fun tricks and stuff, there's a way around it. It seems pretty easy. I just haven't done it personally myself. But you can choose your railings on to have them on the left side or the right side or both or none at all, which I think is really fun. And then you might have seen I was playing around in the customization menu as well, that you can add like little fence pieces up top, like just automatically instead of trying to make it work on your own with custom fences. You can probably do that as well, but that is also another option that the game will just do for you. Another cool option is building walls off the grid. As you can see, I was trying here to figure out how best to fit this door in this floor plan here on the top floor. And I was doing like different little angles and things, trying to see if that works, trying to get like the best use of my space up here. It was really hard because I was like, I don't know how big the furniture is, and while there's a lot of customization that we will go into also later, then I don't know, I was just like, what's gonna work, what's not gonna work, how is it gonna fit, all of this crazy stuff. So those are a couple of key features that I'm interested in exploring further in the future. So I hope you choose to stick around and explore them with me because I would absolutely love that. So, hit that subscribe button and all of that stuff. My floors broke again while I'm trying to figure out the floor plan here, but for the most part, I think we pretty much have it. I was trying to fit a bathroom down on this first floor because usually in my, at least, Sims builds, I like to have a bathroom on the first floor and on the second floor if you can, but if you can't have one on the second floor, then definitely the first floor, only because if you have guests and things, I just feel like that's more practical instead of like sending them upstairs for your bathroom, even though, I mean, the Sims or Parafolk are probably gonna be like, I'll just go wherever the bathroom is, whatever, it doesn't matter. But in like reality, this is just where my brain works. So I originally wanted this to be a 2-bedroom home, but I just couldn't seem to like get that to fit on this lot. So it becomes a 1-bedroom and 1-bathroom. I do really enjoy how the bathroom came out up on the second floor here, so I am excited to show you that as well. Another feature here, you can see I am clicking on the walls and I am making them thicker, which is a very interesting concept, but I was having a hard time getting the first floor and the second floor in the back here kind of line up correctly, and I couldn't like pull the walls out anymore because of the lot or something. I just kept getting an error message. So instead I was like, oh, I could just like click on the wall, click on like these few arrows, and then those walls then become a little thicker, and then hence they line up with the floor beneath us. So that worked here. The roofing, I think I need to, well, I don't think, I know I need to kind of try and figure out how that works a little better. I kept it really simple, guys, for this one, as you can see, like super, super simple. And then what I love are these ivies. You guys know I am a sucker for wall ivies, so seeing these in the early access base game version of this game just made my little builder heart so happy. I love adding wall ivy everywhere. If you're not new here, I have mentioned many times that that is literally my dream, is to live in a home that is just covered in ivy. I absolutely love it. And I know my mom's like, but all the bugs and stuff, and I'm like, but how cozy is it to be wrapped up in nature? Like, I absolutely love it. So I really enjoyed the wall ivy here. We're now starting to kind of landscape a little bit back here. I do really love some of the landscaping options we have, and of course with a lot of the tools we have a lot of like freedom to do some crazy stuff. I was right there just trying to see what it would look like if I took one of the box hedges and kind of sunk them into the ground with the free transform tool. Ultimately, I didn't like how it worked here because like there's a slope to the terrain. So I decided to just stick with a fence and just add some bushes around it and stuff. But I definitely want to try that some more in the very near future, hopefully. I can't wait to get back into this game technically. It's been it's been a few weeks since I've been in the game. So it's actually been a few weeks since I've built anything in general because life has been a little crazy. But I discussed that all in my last video, so I'm not going to go into this. This is all about Paralives. We're going to landscape the front of house here. I'm adding some flower boxes. I do love that there are some options for empty flower boxes, and then you can use the flowers and other landscaping like bushes and things, and they kind of clip into or onto the flower boxes, so that brings like so much more options for customization. I kind of like brushed my mic arm a little bit, so if you heard that, I'm so sorry. But we are fencing off the rest of this build, and then we're even going to get some more wall ivy here. And this is where I use the free transform tool again. Like, as someone in The Sims 4 who just absolutely can't build without my tool mod for like just the simplest little tweaks and stuff, this free transform tool is a godsend. And just for that alone, I feel like this game is so worth it. I will say that it does take a little bit of a time to really learn how to use the free transform tool, but once you get it, it's really simple. It's definitely, I would say, probably a little easier than the tool mod in The Sims 4. With the tool mod by Twisted Mexi in The Sims, there's a lot of like clicking you have to do and numbers you have to play with to kind of rotate things a certain way, and there's a lot of like trial and error to this. This free transform tool in Paralives is a little more seamless than that, and you get kind of like instant results. Not that the tool mod doesn't give you instant results, but I feel like it's just has a bit of a better flow since it is built into the game. Like, I was just able to put a little octagonal window up in the roof here where a window wouldn't really clip, so it still gives it that kind of like attic-y look to it. We're adding some columns. I have not completely explored how amazing these columns are because, guys, they do not snap to the grid. They do not snap. That is a Sims builder's like, oh, worst headache. Not, maybe not the worst, but it is a headache sometimes where like you want a column in a certain place, but like the way the grid is, it doesn't line up, so you can't put it there without using the tool mod. And even then, sometimes using the tool mod with columns, it can be a little tricky. At least in my experience, it's been a little tricky. So having these columns that you can literally place anywhere, and you can make them thicker, thinner, wider, longer, taller, shorter, etc. So good. I'm really excited to maybe explore some more uses with the columns. Here I'm playing around with some of the trims. I will say I struggled with trying to get trims on here. I don't know, maybe I just wasn't clicking in the right place or anything, so maybe that could have probably been user error there. And then, yeah, I think for the most part, our exterior is pretty much complete at this point. We're just going to add a little more details, make sure things are lining up. We've got some like wall decor out there for making the brick look a little dirty, maybe some water damage or something. And then now we're moving on to the interior, which I was actually really excited about. Oh, one thing about the columns, I noticed it. I was like, wait, I don't know if I love it, but it does do this in The Sims 4 when you just stretch the columns all the way up and then you put the walls down and you can still see the columns reaching for the sky. It's something I'm okay with, But if you're not, I would suggest just maybe putting columns on the second floor instead so you don't have that. Oh my god, I just resized a mirror and I hit the mic again. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. So, the best thing about this game, I think, in my opinion, as someone who I really like doing exteriors in builds in The Sims and stuff. However, my truest form of happiness, I think, has always been on the interior kind of designing part aspect of these life simulation games. So the fact that I can resize mirrors, I can resize beds and couches and island counters and kitchen counters and tables and oh my, just literally oh my. It's so exciting. Here I am actually adding a little bit of a gallery wall here. I'm using a lot of the like in-game artwork that is just preloaded. I do want to like go through and maybe find some artwork that I want to add to my game. I also should mention that I'm not using any mods yet in this build. However, you can get like mods off of the Steam workshop, I think. And there are some for like the pillows and rugs and things of that nature where you can upload your own pictures. So that's another fun feature that I feel like I just really glossed over. When you're putting up artwork on your wall, we have the frames and things. You can choose your artwork, and then there's an option to upload your own pictures. So you can put your own pets into this game. Like, I think that was fun. Over here in this not this counter, I'm sorry, in this corner, I get like a little wardrobe moment, and then I put a picture on the wall, and I end up just putting a random picture from one of my Sims screenshots, I think from my latest build of it was a large cottage family home, and I thought that was kind of fun. So like I can even just put my own Sims builds in these builds, which I don't know, that's kind of like ironic to me. I love a good like irony moment and just like breaking the fourth wall a little bit. Hello Sims 2, I'm looking at you. We are moving on to the kitchen now, and the layout I think came together pretty easily. I kind of always knew this corner would probably be the perfect spot to put some counters and stuff. So here I'm playing with the color wheel a little bit, trying to figure out which cabinets I like, how dark I want the wood, etc., and the countertops and things. Just playing around with some of that customization and seeing if there's like another texture or something I wanted to do. I love how customizable the kitchen counters are, and even the cabinetry as well. Like, you just have to kind of really learn it a little bit, and then you're like golden. Like, I can make things longer, I can make them skinnier so that I can figure out how to like actually center a sink under a window instead of having some weird clipping like I would have in The Sims. So that's super fun. And then we have a nice little fridge and things. But what I was mostly excited about, besides the customization of all the cabinets and counters and things, is the kitchen clutter. Because I've seen pictures and, you know, all that stuff of people's kitchens prior to me actually building my own kitchen. So I was like, oh my god, there's a lot of kitchen clutter items, and I'm so here for it. If you guys aren't new, you will know that I love a cluttered kitchen, and like a very lived in cluttered kitchen. So I'm really excited to really like get my hands dirty and like go full out clutter. This kitchen is pretty cluttered, but I wouldn't say it's like cluttered to the max either. So once we get all of this cabinetry figured out here and sizing things the right way to the point that I'm happy, then we will move on to adding some clutter. There's things like toasters and dish racks, obviously. We get a little table under this window here to kind of fill in this space. Maybe there's like extra silverware or extra storage or anything in here. I don't know. It's just something I needed to fill the space, so that's what went there. But we're customizing it, or trying to, at least a little bit, playing around there. I keep it a solid black though. And then we're gonna go on to the wallpaper. I guess I talked too much about the clutter pretty early, so let's go and talk about, I don't know. Oh, I didn't really have any personality in mind when I was doing this build. This was literally just like, let me just get into build mode and see what I can come up with. Here I'm trying out the room separator tool, but I think I was doing it wrong because it wasn't working, and I thought maybe it would be cool to have like the wallpaper stop at a certain point. So I think I'm trying to figure that out now, but I don't know if I actually ever figure it out. So sorry about that. We're going to kind of gloss over that a little bit. Anyway, back to a personality. I didn't have a personality for a sim living here, but I think it would be fun maybe if, I don't know. I'm thinking about it now, and I really think that the parafolk that I randomized looked very like young librarian-esque to me, which I think could be a pretty fun thing to do. I can't recall all of the different job options in this game right now, but I think there are actually a lot for an early access base game thing. I played maybe like 30 minutes of gameplay, and then honestly, I'm just not a gameplay girly sometimes, and I really have to be in the mood for it. So while I was excited to explore it a little bit, after a while I personally got a little bored, and I was like, I just want to build something. So I might have to revisit that when I get that itch, and I think I will eventually, because I get that itch a lot of the times with The Sims 4 too, and then I'll do everything gameplay related and then completely stop. So that's just my toxic trait, I guess. But anyway, we're back to kitchen clutter. We got like lots of cute little jars. We have a knife block. We have a dish rack. We have a coffee maker. Unfortunately, the coffee maker and toaster aren't functional. I don't think that, I think there's a microwave, but I don't think that that is functional either. So that's a little bit of a bummer, but I wouldn't be surprised if it does become functional later down the line. But just look at all of these clutter items. We have aprons, we have cutting boards, we have like spice racks, we have water bottles, coffee mugs, like all of these things, and I'm like placing them down so easily too. Like I don't have to do any alt placement to get it to look very lived in. I don't have to move the counters. It's just so easy, guys. Like it is so easy. I'm so excited for this game. Oh, because this is just the beginning. That's what I think everyone has to understand, is that this is the beginning, and the team, the developers have been so on it with like bug fixes and updates and even collabs. I'm building this before they announced the Unpacking collab, but after they had the Among Us collab. So I thought that was like super fun. I'm like, you're already collabing with all these people. And then let's talk about the plants and the pillows. Okay, we have pillows in early access base game. Hello? Like, thank you. That is so exciting. We didn't get pillows in The Sims 4 until fairly recently, like within the last couple of years. And The Sims 4 has been out for what? It's been like 10 plus years at this point. I can't even like fathom it. Like that's so exciting. And I mean, I should also state I still absolutely love The Sims franchise and The Sims 4. All politics and EA buyout aside, the game itself I still absolutely love. It has a really like, I have a soft spot in my heart for it just because it's so nostalgic to me, and I have hours in that game and I still love it, and I'm still going to continue loving it and playing it until I get bored of it. But at this time I'm literally not bored of it. Like I'm itching to do a build in there right now, actually. Like I want to get to building. But this game just gives so much more freedom, and there's, if we're getting these basic things like pillows right off the bat, I think that's really exciting, because who knows where this game is going to go at this point. So I'm really super excited. We have these cute little poofs too. I do think that they're a little big. They're kind of on the big side. So I kind of like inched it into the ground a little bit just to make it look like it's actually a poof and like closer to the ground. Those aren't functional. The stools aren't functional yet, but they're just super cute. Okay, I just love them. The living room is coming together now. I think this is pretty much what it looks like, so we're just going to add some clutter pieces and stuff. I love that I can just use this free transform tool and move things around super easily. I love that I can resize plants and it'll still clip to a shelf. The weights I was able to size down to fit the space. Like, it's just, I'm just so in awe, and I'm just going to keep gushing over it. So enough of me gushing about it, because now is maybe a good time to remind you guys to, you know, put your ideas and thoughts in the comments down below. I tried to get town to city screenshot up in that picture too, but I decided not to. I do want to upload pictures of my fur babies as well, so I can like add them to builds and stuff. I just think that's super fun. I love this mirror. I really do. There's a lot of things I love. There was a plant I put by the bookshelf over there in the living room, and then we'll talk about the dining room, but I think that's my, like, that's the dino plant of Paralives, in my opinion, so I should have pointed that out sooner. But we are moving on to the dining room now, and I struggled a little bit here with trying to figure out the table and chair situation. I wanted 4 seats, but I wanted the table to be a little smaller, so unfortunately I just was like, well, I'll just kind of keep it like this and turn the table around so that it fits the room better. So that is just something I just want to figure out a little more. And then picking out some wallpaper, I end up going with a floral pattern that I end up actually customizing myself, and I think I love this. This was probably the first time I was like, okay, I think I can get with the color wheel thing of the world, so I'm in for it. But I didn't want to put too much in this room because I wanted to make sure it was still functional, so there's not too much clutter going on. We get a plant in front of the window. I think I get like a wall shelf over here with some clutter, and I think I even stick a guitar. I put a guitar case in the living room, but then the guitar is actually over here? Question mark, I guess. I mean, you just put stuff someplace, sometimes, somewhere, and it just happens. I got a little centerpiece here in the dining room table with salt and pepper shakers, a little cauldron plant, which I think is really cute. There's a lot of fun like seasonality things in here as well, which I'm really excited. We don't have like seasons or holidays or anything just yet, but again, this is very early access material we're working with, so I'm really excited for the potential of this game in the near and even far future. So I'm excited to get better too at the build tools. There was a giant cow, and I was like, what am I gonna do with that? So I yeeted it. But yeah, this is the dining room, and then we are going to save because I have trust issues, especially being a Sims builder. As we all know, we gotta save often. So here I had to figure out how to stop this from happening, and I think I just had to redraw the walls and get them to click right, I guess. So we got it, but this is the room that is going to be our bathroom. I still want to figure out how I can make like smaller bathrooms and things like I like to do in The Sims 4, but as I mean, I probably have to figure out with the free transform tool and all that stuff. I'm sure there's a way. Like the spacing and things that's just what's the most jarring for me at this point, and I'm trying to figure it out. Like, see, I couldn't fit a shower right in here. So I get this stand up one. Actually, I get this one. I think this is super cute. And I just kind of close it off with another wall and kind of stretch it a little bit to fit. So this becomes a very like orange and blue color scheme in here, which I don't know. I don't mind. I really like the color scheme in here. I like that tile looks a little messy in some places. I like that I can already clip things up on top of the toilet. We have a toilet paper roll. We have a toilet brush as well. I get a shelf up here, and I don't know. The possibilities are just endless, literally, at this point. We're getting a toilet paper tower because we love a toilet paper tower. And speaking of which, that is also pretty recently new to The Sims 4, is having toilet paper clutter. So yeah, that's a thing. I feel like I'm bashing on The Sims too much, and it's just the comparison is just kind of really crazy. So it is what it is. Here, I wanted to take this like handicap rail and make my very own towel rack because we don't have that. So that's one thing The Sims has that this game doesn't, right? So I used a transform tool, the free transform tool, and was able to rotate a towel and make it look like it's hanging there. And then you're probably going to see it disappear a million times, and you're going to see me maybe try and put it back a million times unless I didn't record all of that. But ultimately, it stays deleted. Like, see, I don't know why. It just kept going away. And eventually I get tired of fixing it, and I just leave the handicap rail there, and I was like, we can just imagine there's a tell there because I'm not going to keep playing this game. Speaking of which, this is up on the Steam workshop. I need to figure out if there's like a gallery ID or something that I can link for you guys down below. I'll figure that out, and I'll make sure that's in the description in case you want to add this to your game and use it. I love that we can still share our creations and stuff with the community. I think that is super exciting, super fun. I'm just not familiar with the way Steam works in that sense, so I am still learning. I can't even tell you right now how I managed to upload this. I just know I watched a video and did it, and then maybe I should link that video too. I'll try to remember that. If I don't and you're looking for it, please yell at me. Please, please, please. I'm only human, and work is draining recently. That's why I've been like kind of really quiet on this channel recently. So anyway, there's another me fixing the towel, but we're gonna pick out some wallpaper, some curtains or blinds and stuff here, and then this bathroom is pretty much a wrap at this point. I'm not in love with some of the tile options in this game, but I will make do with this for now. I don't know. I don't know what exactly I'm looking for, to be honest, but I wasn't feeling any of the options. And then I love this little clutter shelf here. I loved cluttering this up with the laundry basket, some folded clothes that I was like, let's just pretend they're extra towels, and then we get some like other toiletries down on the bottom shelf and things. Like, I just love that. A gym bag, because why not? I don't know why you, well, maybe you carried it all the way up here because the shower's up here and your bedroom's up here, but and then you just happen to drop it here. I don't know. I don't make the rules. I just build things. Okay, what are we going to work on next? I think we are going to try and put the towel back again. I mean, it is pretty easy. It only takes like a couple of seconds to do it. I just hate that it kept deleting. And I'm not quite sure. That's probably some sort of glitch that I'm sure will be fixed in the future. There is a button up here on the menu. I think it's the one with the two thumbs. If you can see it, it's next to the information button in the menu up there. So that gives you the opportunity to give like feedback right away to the developers. And it's kind of like, think of it as like the Sims forum when you're reporting a bug and stuff. Like, that's what that is. So I think that's really handy to have just in game like that. Did my game freeze? Nope, we're just stuck on the screen. I think I was stuck on what to do with the hallway, so we're moving on to the bedroom. As you can see, I made the bed bigger with arrows. Oh, that is so exciting. Let's do it again. Oh, that's so awesome. So when you use the arrows to make your bed bigger, wider, the pillows add up, and then you can like sleep up to 1,000,000 Sims apparently in one bed. I really don't know how that works actually, so don't take me by that, by the word of my sentences. Apparently I don't know English anymore. This always happens when I get to the end of my voiceovers. For those of you who stick around, you're awesome. I love you. Thanks for understanding me. So we're just adding some pillows. I love that body pillow with the person on it. Like, I love that little detail. That is so fun. I wonder if there's any lore to that. I know there's been some lore and stuff with some other things in the game. I just haven't quite explored it too much yet. But I've heard whispers and tellings of them. But over here, I mean, it's a pretty small room, especially when you put the bed in here. But I really loved kind of taking more of a colorful approach up here. I think downstairs I kept it pretty like neutral and stuff. So up here I was like starting to get that itch where I was like, let's like get out of that comfort zone a little bit and try and go a little crazy, you know? So that's where all the fun happens up here. We get some cute little pinks and blues and yellows happening. Over here we get this little bookshelf. I get two of them to put under the window, and look how easy it is to move things around so that they look like they belong and they fit. We're going to add some clutter. We get an art easel, and then I even get a little desk area up here as well. But we have a lot of cute little workout clutter. We have the Rubik's Cube. We have a little sign that says home that I put up here, some extra books as well. Like, I'm just really excited. Look at that skull planter too. I think that is super cute. The disco ball is really fun too, and I changed the lettering of the home to match the bedspread on the bed. Like, it's just so fun. And I was able to put the desk over here, resize that a little bit to fit this little bump out, and then we clutter it up over here too. We get a laptop that is functional. It does like all the things you would think a laptop would do for you in gameplay, like find a job, play games, etc. I don't know what I clicked, but a menu popped up. So, whatever. Anyway, I am so far really enjoying Paralives. I cannot wait to get back into build mode. I have at this point, I've done this build plus an apartment build, so if you're interested in seeing that, where I more so explore a lot more colors and things, definitely don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on that. I don't know how many new folk are here on the channel today, but thank you again for coming by. I should explain to you the next part of this video while we're decorating this hallway, which I add non-functional laundry. I said that like I was mad about it, but I'm not. I'm not mad. I'm really not, because I don't play the game. So I just like being able to make spaces, okay? But after this, once I'm done with the hallway, we are going to hop into live mode. I wonder if, are we calling it live mode? I guess we are. What else would we call it? I don't know. Huh. Anyway, we will hop into live mode so that we can walk through the build a little bit, make sure your parafolk can use all of the important items in here and fix anything that isn't working. So, but we're gonna finish up this hallway real quick though, so I'll keep yapping my little mouth off. We get some clutter up here. I was like, oh, should we put a clothesline inside? But I was like, nah, that's silly. I mean, people do it, but in this space, that wasn't gonna work. I don't think we get a poof. And then I was like, well, I guess we'll just get another little seating area. I guess you can read here. This is where I pull out the body pillow because I didn't end up leaving it in the bedroom. So he makes an appearance over here, which I really like. And oh my god, resizing mirrors. I'm never gonna get over that. It took me a while to realize that mirror was purple too. I ultimately changed the color, I believe, to like a black frame. So I don't know why it wasn't clicking on me the first time around or earlier on. I don't know. But yeah, this has been my first Paralives build. So I will see you guys in just a quick second as we hop into live mode and playtest our very first Paralives build. Wow. That's kind of really exciting to say. I'll see you guys there. I wonder where these guys are going. They're all just walking in the same direction, same line, same everything. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for my first build in Paralives. Look at it. It's so, so cute. I love the ivy and I will not stop talking about it. I will not. But here is my parafolk. She's just randomized. Her name is Cynthia. I think she just looks very librarian core to me. I think she's just so cute. But anyway, here it is in all of its glory. We have our trash cans up front. Mailbox? Question mark? I don't remember seeing that in the catalog. I might have to go back and look at that. We have a nice little bench here. We can have Cynthia come and sit. Are you broken? No, she's not broken. Okay. You just didn't want to sit here? Can't go here. Can you go here? Why? Can you go anywhere? Okay, I flattened the terrain and now I think we are in action. Can you sit here? I told her to sit here and she sat there. You know what? That's fine. We're inside the house. So she's sitting in her little entryway, looking super cute. Okay, good. So we come into our entryway. We have a dining room right off the bat here. Let's see if I can get her to come and sit in here. Oh, so cute. A little bit of a glitch, but that's okay. Can you practice the guitar? She can. I love the wallpaper in here. I love the clutter on the shelving. I love the plants. I think this came out so cute. Alright, I'll have you stop doing that. In the entryway, we also have a little closet here, so if you wanted to change outfit, I do have a picture from one of my recent builds in The Sims, because I was just goofing off with that one. But let's test out the kitchen. Why don't we cook hazelnut spread toast? Wait, that sounds really good. So in the kitchen here, we have a little L shape here, and then we have a counter where we have a couple of stools. These aren't technically functional yet. And then we have like a coffee cup, some headphones, some dice on the little countertop there. We also have a coffee maker, which isn't functional at this time yet, which is a bummer. We have a toaster as well, but I love the clutter items. I just think if this is like the base game, like it's so good. It's so good. Look at that. Look at the little hazelnut. That literally looks like the knives I have at home. That is so cute. Why are you angry? You failed a recipe? Is it not good? You're gonna eat it. Oh, it's burnt. Oh my god. Honestly, girl, same. I feel like I burn my food all of the time. I'm such a bad cook. But you're gonna eat it anyway. Just like me, because we don't waste stuff. Great, and it looks like now she's gonna clean up. Alright, great. Let's move over to... We have a mirror here. Think about a hard problem. Maybe I should calm her down. Yeah. Deep breaths. I'm not sure what the reflection thing. Maybe it's in my settings. No. I don't know. Maybe that's another little glitch or something happening. But here we have our living room. I think it's super cozy. We can watch some TV. I'll make her stop breathing because that's actually annoying me a little bit. But look at that. She's on the sofa watching TV. I love the little poses. But actually, who watches TV like that though? Not I. She's not even looking at it. That doesn't bother me too much though, so it's okay. Yeah, we have some weights and things. We have a sofa. We have some bookshelves. This is the dine out plant, if I've ever seen one myself. Like, that is literally it. If you know, you know. But that's the first floor. So let's move up to our second floor. Up here we have laundry, which isn't functional yet. We have another little sofa up here, so I'll have her come and sit and put some music on maybe. I also love the body pillow. I love it so much. Yeah, but this is just the landing. So over here we have like a little bench and stuff, but then we have our bathroom. So let's go and test this out. I am mad that I kept trying to put that towel to make it look like it's hanging on this bar here, but like every time I load back into this build, it's gone. It's just like it never happened before. So I'm not gonna put it back because it'll probably just, you know, disappear for you. I love the bathroom clutter over here. I thought this came out really nice with this extra shelf. We have a first aid kit. We have like a heating pad over here. I like this little shelf with all the little clutter here and things. The gym bag. Let's take a shower real quick in this one. I thought this was a nice little shower. I do wish like the curtain maybe closes for reality things, you know, because all that water is just splashing right out of here, isn't it? But it's working, so I will take it. The mirror here is also being funny, but we can brush our teeth, we'll wash our hands. Look at this, it's so cute. You know, honestly, I wasn't sold on the art style during like the last few years of seeing all the Paralives news and stuff, but the more I'm in it, the more I actually start to really adore it. And then we have a bedroom, so we can come and maybe we'll just have her nap really quickly. Lots of colors in here, the pinks, the yellows, the blues. I think this game really shines when it comes to like the colors. Obviously we have like a whole color wheel and everything, but this is where it's at with this game. All right, I want to make sure this art easel works. Let's do like a sketch painting or something. Okay, this is working. Look how sweet that is. I love all the clutter on here. I love the little home sign, the little skull planter, some books on here. And then we have a computer. So what if we practice some graphic design? That's fun. What else is here? Read romantic fan fiction, learn about all of these different things, play video games. You can play Among Us, Boyfriend Dungeon, Dwarf Fortress, Outbound, and Unpacking. You can order flowers, you can order a diamond ring, browse recipes for cooking. That's good. And you can hire some services for cleaning and repair. And of course, find a job. Ooh, we leveled up our painting skill. Okay. Go and test out this computer for me, and then we are going to call it. Oh, it works. Love that. Amazing. Friends, well, that is where I am going to leave you for today. If there's anything you would like to see me build in Paralives, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know if you've gotten the game, if you're enjoying it, and all of that good stuff. But thank you again. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, a special shout out to my channel members. If you're interested in joining, click on the join button below. You get a few little emojis, emotes, little badges and stuff. It's just one tier right now, but more to come in the future. I'll stop yapping now, and I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye!